Good morning, students. Hope you all fine and everything is going good. And let us move on today's class. So today we are going to discuss about chapter 4, organ and organ system in animals. In the previous sessions, we discussed about the same chapter, and in the last class we discussed about this anatomy of frog, and accordingly we have seen some systems of this frog, that is digestive system, respiratory system as well as blood vascular system. Fine. And today's class, of course, we are going to discuss about this rest of this systems of frog, that is nervous system, excretory system, reproductive system as well as this economic importance of frog also. Clear? Let us see one by one. First of all, again, let's just see how this nervous system will be classified for this learning purpose. Fine. Okay, so of course we know the nervous system is the major controlling region of the whole body, right? Let us see what are these organs are involved under this nervous system, right? So the nervous system is basically classified as three, that is central nervous system, peripheral nervous system as well as autonomic nervous system. Fine. Okay, so the central nervous system includes the major organs known as brain as well as spinal cord. Fine. Okay, then peripheral nervous system. Peripheral means it's a sub, so which means the nerves which is arising from the brain and the spinal cord will be included as a peripheral nervous system. Okay, so peripheral nervous system includes the peripheral nerves as well as this ganglia. Ganglia, we can say the group of nerves. Ganglia. Fine. Okay, so from the brain also the nerves arise, and from the spinal cord also the nerves arise. So here in case of frog, from the brain 10 pairs of nerves arise, that is known as cranial nerves. And from the spinal cord also again 10 pairs of nerves arise, that is known as spinal nerves. So this will be supplied throughout the body to supply the signal, right? And the next one is regarding autonomic nervous system. So the autonomic nervous system also further classified as parasympathetic as well as sympathetic nervous system, right? So this is controlling this vital functions of this body, vital organs or visceral organs of this body, we can say, right? So these two functions will be just opposite for each other, antagonistic to each other. Means, for example, if the parasympathetic nerves is increasing the secretion, sympathetic nerves will reduce the secretion. Okay, so that process will be going on automatically with this influence of this nervous system. So that is autonomic nervous system. Okay, again the next one, the brain. How this brain structure of brain is there, what are the regions are present in the brain, so that we are going to see in this next part. Fine. So this is regarding this brain of this frog, right? The structure of brain also so simple here, and especially the brain is located into this cranial cavity inside this head skull region, right? Cranial cavity. And the brain is covered with these two membrane. The membrane is actually meninges. We can say the meninges. There is two meninges are there, that is pia mater as well as dura mater. Okay, pia mater as well as dura mater. And the brain is divided as three divisions, that is forebrain, midbrain as well as hindbrain. Okay, so the forebrain is otherwise known as prosencephalon. The midbrain is otherwise known as mesencephalon, and the hindbrain is otherwise known as rhombencephalon. Fine. Now let us see what are these parts are included under this each divisions. Fine. So the first one is regarding the forebrain. This is the largest region and this anterior most region of this brain. Okay. and which includes pair of olfactory lobes. Can you watch this lobes there? So the pair of olfactory lobes are there. It is narrow in shape, but it is fused posteriorly, right? It is narrow in shape. Then inside this olfactory lobe, it consists of olfactory ventricle. Ventricle in the sense here it is actually cavity. So inside this olfactory lobe, it consists of the cavity that is known as olfactory ventricle. Okay, and that is the first region of this prosencephalon. Then the second one is cerebral hemisphere. Okay, so olfactory lobe is there. Then the next one is cerebral hemisphere. So the cerebral hemisphere is the next region. So olfactory lobe is at the anterior most region, and the next largest region is the cerebral hemisphere. Okay, then the next part is actually diencephalon. Can you watch this diencephalon? So between the cerebral hemisphere there is diencephalon is there. So these three parts are included as a forebrain region. Okay, and let us see the next one is the midbrain. Midbrain is otherwise known as mesencephalon. So which includes a pair of optic lobes. Can you watch the oval shape? Optic lobes are there, right? So these optic lobes also inside it consist of the cavity that is known as optic ventricles. Okay, optic ventricles. So two large oval shaped optic lobes are included as a midbrain. Fine. And the third region is a hindbrain, which is otherwise known as a rhombencephalon. So this includes again the largest region, cerebellum. Fine. Can you watch the cerebellum? Okay. And the cerebellum is leading as the next region as a medulla oblongata. Okay. So this medulla oblongata is leading as a spinal cord. Okay. So this spinal cord actually it is present inside this vertebral column, backbone. Am I right? So this spinal cord is moving inside this vertebral column or backbone. So the starting point of this vertebral column or backbone, there is a hole. So through this hole only, this medulla oblongata is leading as a spinal cord. Fine. So that hole is known as a foramen magnum. Foramen magnum. So through the foramen magnum, it is reaching the spinal cord. It's a continuous structure. Is it clear? Then from the spinal cord, again as we said, this nerves will arise and it is supplied throughout the body. Is it clear? So that's all the structure of this, brain of frog. Clear? So the next one is regarding the excretory system. So of course we may know about this. What is excretion, right? So the elimination of nitrogenous waste as well as the salt and the excess of water. So everything we can say as excretion, right? So this function will be performed by the group of organs that we can say as excretory system. Clear? And let us see what are the organs are involved in this excretory process of frog, right? And here mainly we can say this major excretory organ is the kidney. So here in frog also it consists of the pair of kidneys. Can you watch this kidney in the figure? Okay, it is a dark red in color and it is very long as well as flat shape. Fine. And the kidney also mesonephric kidney, developed kidney. Fine. Of course, the kidney consists of the structural and the functional unit of the kidney is known as nephrons, right? So the nephron is present. Several nephrons are present inside these kidneys. And what is the role of these nephrons? Of course, it is filtrating the nitrogenous waste from the blood. Okay, and especially here for this frog, the nitrogenous waste finally it will be coming in the form of this urea, right? So this kidney is eliminating the nitrogenous waste in the form of urea. Okay, so that's why these animals are known as a ureotelic animals. Okay, so this urea will be taken away by the next part as a ureter. So the pair of ureter is arising from the pair of kidneys and it is bringing away this urea. Okay, then this urea is left into this urinary bladder. There it is stored and through the cloaca it will be eliminated out, right? So that is this excretory system of frog. The next one is this male reproductive system. So we are going to see here about this reproductive system, and first one is this male reproductive system. Okay, so here male reproductive system also I have displayed the same figure because in some regions both of them connected each other. Okay, that's what the same figure is displayed here. Let us see what are these organs are involved in this reproductive system of male frog. Fine. Okay, this of course the major reproductive organ is the testis, and for frog also we can say there is pair of testes are located. Okay, then this testis is attached on this wall of this kidney. Can you watch say the yellow color which is marked it is testis, and it is attached along this dorsal wall of this kidney by the muscular folding, right? So that is known as mesorchium, muscular fold of actually that fold name is called as a mesorchium. Okay, then so the role of what is the role of this testis? The testis is producing the sperm cell. Okay, so these sperm cells will be collected by the tubules. So that tubule name is actually vasa efferentia. Can you watch this vasa efferentia? So this vasa efferentia is collecting this sperms which is produced by the testes. Fine. Then this vasa efferentia will open into the kidney action. Okay, so it is leaving into this kidney, and from through the kidneys it is the tubule which is coming out of this kidney we can say as a urinary bladder. So the sperm cells also will be coming through the same part as a urinary bladder, ureter, and it will be stored in this urinary bladder. And now actually the duct is mentioned here as urinogenital duct. Why it is mentioned as a urinogenital duct? Because urine also sent out by the same way cloaca. Meanwhile, this sperm cells, genital cells, also send out by the same way cloaca, right? That's what the duct they said is a urinogenital duct. Is it okay? So the testes or pair of testes are located on the kidney, right? And the testis is producing the sperm cells, and it is collected by the vasa efferentia. Then it is moving through this kidney. Okay, so kidney is collecting this urea, and meanwhile this vasa efferentia is bringing the sperm cells. So both will be coming out through this urinary bladder. Through ureter it is reaching the urinary bladder, then through the urinogenital duct it will reach the cloaca, and through the cloaca it will be eliminated out. Is it okay? Let us go on to the next one. This is female reproductive system. Fine. So female reproductive system is a little bit different from this male reproductive system as per the arrangement. So here this major reproductive organ is this ovaries. Okay, and here the pair of ovary is there. So here actually if you look into this diagrams, the left side ovary is small. It doesn't mean only one ovary is there. Actually, to differentiate this, the ovary is present on the kidney like testis. So to notify that only, here one side they have given this ovary and the next side they have given the kidney. Okay, it doesn't mean there is only one kidney and one ovary. Have you got the point? Okay, so there is pair of ovaries are located, and this ovary also attached along the wall of this kidney by another one muscular folding, that is here it is known as a mesovarium, right? Mesovarium. In male it is known as mesorchium, in the female it is known as mesovarium. Okay, and in the male, as we said, from the testis pair of vasa efferentia emerges out to collect the sperm cells. In case of female, from the ovary, can you watch the pair of oviduct arise? Can you watch this oviduct? So the oviduct will arise from this ovary. Okay, So this ovary is producing the ovum, which is collected by this oviduct. So the end, can you watch? So this end at the anterior region, one region is marked as oviducal funnel. So the end of this oviduct, it consists of funnel shape. So this funnel shape only, the hole which is present in the funnel shape is called ostia. So through this ostia only, the ovum will be collected from the ovary. Have you got the point? But it is left free now. But it is do not left free. It is connected with this ovary. Okay. So this part, to notice that part only, they get left it like free. Fine. So this oviduct, through the ostia, it is collecting the ovum. Okay. And finally, the ovum will reach at this posterior region. Can you watch? One ovi sac is present, one enlarged region. The oviduct will enlarge at the posterior end like a sac-like structure, right? That is known as ovi sacs. So pair of ovi sacs are there. The role of this ovi sacs are here. This ovum will be stored. Okay. Then and through the cloaca, but this ovum will be released outside. Here this fertilization is not internal. This frog will leave, the male frog will leave the sperm cells to the water, and this female frog also will leave the sperm egg cells to the water. Fine. And here one difference we can say from male and female. Male frog, we said sperm cells as well as this urine or urea will be collected by the same duct, urinogenital duct, right? But here it is different holes. Can you watch in the figure? Duct, there is separate hole is there. It is marked as this, yellow color. Ureter is opening in the separate opening of ureter. Can you watch? Then oviduct is opening in a separate opening. Can you watch? Oviducal opening in the left side. Both the hole is different. Okay. But in male, both will connected together. Both through the same duct, both will be collected. Understood? And through the cloaca. Cloaca is same. Through the cloaca, it will be left out. Is it fine? Now let us go on. The next one is the life cycle of this frog. How the life cycle or this metamorphosis takes place for this frog, right? This development or growth which takes place in the frog, we can say as metamorphosis. Fine. Okay. So as we said, the first one, this fertilization is external, means the fusion of this egg cell and the sperm cells takes place in the water. Okay. Then, so the first we can say the frog is laying the eggs, right? So, and then it is after the fusing with the sperm cell, it is becoming as a embryo, right? Then the embryo is becoming as a tadpole larva, right? And the tadpole larva is, first of all, when it is growing, it is producing 3 pairs of gills, because in the tadpole stage it used to survive inside the water. So it needs the gills for its respiration. So it is producing 3 pairs of gills. Okay. Then it is moving towards on the land. So when it's move on land, of course it needs the legs. So it is growing the legs again. Okay. Then finally, and this tail and the gills will disappear. When it's move on to the land, the tails and the gills will disappear, and it will produce its teeth as well as a jaw. Okay. So when it is on the land, of course it needs this lungs for its respiratory process. So the lungs become active here, right? So this is this life cycle of this frog. So that we can say as this metamorphosis process. Clear? So this is the one of the most important question, that is the economic importance of frog, right? So is there any economic importance will be there from the frog? And surely there is a lot of importance is there from the frog. Let us see one by one. The first one is regarding food chain. Of course, you may know about the food chain, right? So each and every organisms are interlinked with one another for its food purpose, right? So it's like a chain that we can say as a food chain. So this frog is playing the major role in the food chain. If the frog is not there, the food chain will be cut or detached, and the several organisms will be affected one by one, right? So that's what they say, the frog must be protected. because it is one of this important organism in the food chain, right? The second value is it is reducing the insect pest population. Of course, we know the crops are destroyed by these insects and the pests, right? So the frog, if the frog is available in that field, the frog major food is actually insects, right? So while it is eating the insects, of course, automatically the number of insects will be reduced, right? So that is one of this major help for the farmers in this, agricultural field. Fine. The next one is regarding medicinal values. So the traditional medicines will be prepared from these frogs. Especially these medicines are helping to control the blood pressure, right? And moreover, the anti-aging properties also will be produced from the frog. So what do you mean anti-aging? The people will get the age, but they look like not like age peoples. So that is this because of some properties that is prepared from the frog, that we can say as a anti-aging properties. Fine. And the last one is regarding this nutritional value. Of course, the frog is the major food for this some countries like USA, Japan, China, and Northeast India. So those regions, they are consuming the frog as one of the food, since they said it is rich with this nutritional value, right? So we have completed this today's portion here. Let us go on few assignments regarding today's class. First of all, so here I have given as a five mark questions. The first one is regarding explain the nervous system of frog with the diagram. Second question, explain the excretory system of frog, again with the diagram. Everywhere you have to give the diagram. Fine. Then explain the male reproductive system of frog, explain the female reproductive system of frog, and the last one, explain the economic importance of frog, right? So everything will be asked as a 5 mark question, and this economic importance, sometimes it will be asked as even as a 3 mark question also, right? So far we have completed, so this chapter 4 we are completed now, organ and organ system in animals. So far we have completed 2 invertebrates as well as 1 vertebrate. So the 2 invertebrates are earthworm as well as the cockroach, and 1 vertebrate, that is frog, right? Its morphology as well as its anatomy we have completed. Fine. So please go on all these portions and please be active and note down all the questions, and purchase these textbooks very soon, and keep touch with us and do every works in a smart manner. Fine. Okay. So let us meet in the next class with a new chapter. So until that, please stay at home and do your work very well, and please pray very well. That is the first and foremost things to all. Pray very well. Fine. Thank you.